Baby. Let's go, come on. Big tuna. Big tuna time. Let's go. Sometimes you gotta talk to these fish. Let them know you're out here. We on, baby! See? Doubled up, doubled up. I knew that was gonna happen. We on, baby! I'm doubled up! Yeah! He feels good! Oh, he's got weight. Oh, baby. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Scott. I am particularly stoked on this video today. I've got the 2022 Hobie Mirage Outback. I'm gonna go over some of the features of the new one versus the 2016 that I had, and even the generation before this one. So let me get right into this, go over some of the specs and great things about this new Hobie Mirage Outback. So I'm just gonna start from the very front of the bow. Same grip as the first generation, second generation. Moving back, okay, so my 16 had a single tie down point on it. You can see here they have two tie down points. So you just flip those elastic bands over like that, and you've got access in here. If you want to put a fish finder on your unit, they mount at the same spot. That's actually a sail post. So right here on these kayaks, you can get a top or you can get a sail for them, and they act kind of like sailboats. I'll go over my electronics setup later in the video. So from the 2019 model, which was, it's basically this. There's a few subtle changes from 2019 to 2022, one of which being the rod holder cutouts. So I don't know if you can see down in there, but these rod holder cutouts now have a bar in there. So if you have the style of rods that have these cutouts on the bottom, you can put those in there and your rod won't spin when you troll or just travel in general. Okay, moving on back. If you're not familiar with Hobies at all, they use a pedal system. That hasn't changed. An older pedal system would go in here, but there were some updates to the 2022 model. So first things I noticed when comparing my 2016 to this 22 is the adjustment for leg length is different on these. You've got different pedals here, different grips. But the main thing from the 16 is you now have reverse on these pedal systems, and that's really nice. So you can pull these toggles and go in reverse now with this unit. Also, a change from even 19 is they have the kick up fins. So now these fins will fold back if you hit rocks or whatever. You go over shallow ground, those fins will fold back instead of getting damaged. So those drop right in here in this slot. Another subtle change is these rubberized pockets. The other one had more rope style pockets so stuff could get caught in them easier. I really like that change. The 2016 also didn't have the railing, so you can have different attachments. As you can see, my fish finder mount right there goes in this little rail slot and secures down. So then my fish finder mount will just snap right to that. One of the really cool things about putting electronics on these setups is the way the cords run. So you have these different sized rubber cutouts, and they fit perfectly with those cords depending on how big your power and transducer cable is. Another update from the 16 generation up to the 19 generation is the C decking. So from 2019 to 2022, you'll get this C decking to stand on. That's really nice. The 16 didn't have this, so I would always wear flip-flops or whatever in there just to have some padding under my feet. Love that feature. The other big improvement on the 2022 versus my 2016 is the watertight storage. So again, you got another rubberized pocket right there. And then there's a lot more storage, as well as just the ease of which to get to it. So they updated the mechanism here on how to get in and out of there. I really like that. That's a nice addition. Still have the elastic tie down. I'll slide bags of plastics under there, just whatever you want to keep secure. That's similar. A pretty significant change from the new generation from 19 up to 22 is how you raise and lower your rudder. So to lower my rudder, I pull this and pop it into this cleat, which is pretty cool. And then to get your rudder back up, you just release it. It used to be to get your rudder down, you pull the right, and then over here, you had a rudder up. So they've simplified that, and that's nice. Now they have a transducer cable over here, so if you have an external transducer, you can raise it with that once you hook it up. One of the really major changes from the 16s up to this newest generation is now you have steering on this side and that side. So ambidextrous steering, can steer with both sides of the kayak. That's really nice. You know, if you have a fish on one side and you need to tilt your steering, you can do that with your free hand now. 2 more cutout holders back here for trolling or just storing rods on the back. You can throw a gaff in there. You've got adjustable cables on this model. That's different. And then it comes with this, which is really cool. Unloading this out of the truck can be kind of a chore, but now you can set the tail down without hitting your rudder. It's got a place to secure your oar. That hasn't changed. So another thing they changed from 2016 to 2022 is the seat base is 1.5 inches wider. That's nice. I went and grabbed my Lowrance to show you guys how I set that up. So I've got the Lowrance hook reveal. I've got the 7-inch screen. Pretty sick setup. I've had this kayak out once so far, and what I noticed immediately that's like having a boat is if you're trolling, you can go over the same spot you got hit. Anybody that's been in a kayak in the Gulf or on big water knows it's really hard to go exactly where you just were, if that makes sense. The water's so big that going over the exact same spot is really a lot of guesswork, so this takes that out of it. Obviously I've got sonar so I can see fish. That's a perk. There's my last trip out right there, so you can see I got hit right here and I doubled back on that a few times, so that's nice to be able to do that. That's my launch point over here. You can see where I came out, trolled around, came back. Pretty sweet. And if you want to set yours up with a fish finder, you're gonna order a battery power kit, and the one I got came with a Hobie battery mount. That's a little 12-volt battery in there. Comes with these nice plugs. And something you want to do is secure your wires out of the way. So you can see I put mine in a plastic bag and then I taped it up on the wall of the kayak, because these will get some water down in here. You know, they'll get in through your scupper holes and different things like that. So you'll get a little water running through the center of your kayak by the end of the day normally. So I got those secured out of the way. And then you can see they run back up there through this little port into the back of the unit. Another perk when comparing the 2016 to the 2022 is this storage space right here. There's just a lot more room for your tackle bag, whatever you want to keep on the back, whether you're going to throw fish up here to get them back in. There's just a lot more storage right here. Also, a difference from the 2016 to the 19 to 22s is you no longer have that single handle like up front, but you have this bar. So that makes it nice to be able to pick up the kayak, load it, move it around. That's definitely a plus. That's the transducer plate. So to install a transducer, you just pop 3 screws out. That plate drops down. Easy to secure it to it. And then you run your cable up through here, down back into the hole, and then out that same hole. So I got my power run from the front, and then the transducer cable comes up here to that same point. So those are some of the features that I personally like about the Mirage Outback 2022. It's got some great updates from the previous generation, and that generation has good updates from the one before it. I bought my 2016 off Craigslist. They've got some good deals on there, but they go fast. If you haven't ever heard of Hobie kayaks, they're one of the leaders in the industry, and if you find one on Craigslist, buy it if it's at a good price, because it will go fast. So that's where I got started, to give you that little tidbit of information. They aren't cheap kayaks, brand new, but if you can find a deal on Craigslist, that's a good route to go. Of course, I had to put some of my favorite brands that I like to use on it. Just show these companies a little bit of love. If you're a rep or anybody that works for these companies, holler at me. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching and being subscribed. If you're not, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get a notification anytime I upload. Hopefully you got some good information on this. I can't recommend enough getting a fishing kayak. It's been so much fun catching fish out of these things. The 2016 was great, but the innovations they did on the 2022 model, next level. I'm loving this thing. I've only had it out one time, but I'll be out there bright and early tomorrow. Good luck out there, you guys. Stay safe. Much love.